Hey guys, today we are going to be talking about resistant starches. What the F are resistant starches? People keep asking me to do this video because they want me to explain it, and for some reason you guys think I'm smart and like know what all this stuff is. I'm just kidding, I kind of do. Today I'm going to give you the 411 on resistant starches, what they are, what they do, why you need them, why they're beneficial to your health and weight loss, and how they can help you. So here we go. So most of the carbohydrates in our diet are starches. So you have your potatoes, your rice, your beans, things like that. Also, even there's starchy fruits like bananas. The thing with this is not all of the starch that we eat gets digested. Some of it passes through our digestive system unchanged, which makes it resistant to digestion, hence giving us the form of starch called resistant starch. Now, resistant starch can have a lot of health benefits. They've done tons of studies on this. It obviously helps you feel fuller because it's passing through your digestive system. It's a lot of fiber, and some of it's not getting digested, therefore it's not really counting as calories. It improves people's blood sugar levels, therefore improving insulin sensitivity and other things like that. So resistant starch isn't anything new. It's just something new that they've kind of scientifically found out about and, you know, proven that it's been useful for health benefits and weight loss. So that's why it's so popular as a topic these days in the media and things like that. Not all resistant starches are the same. There's 4 different types of resistant starch. The first type is found in grains, seeds, legumes, and it resists digestion because it's bound within the fibrous cell walls. The second type is found in some starchy foods, including raw potatoes and green bananas. This type of starch changes when we cook those foods and then inadvertently cool them, but we'll talk about that in a minute. So like I said, depending on how the food is prepared, the amount of resistant starch changes. So if you take a green banana, you let it ripen till it's spotty, until it has a lot of sugars, it doesn't really have any resistant starch anymore. It only has resistant starch when you're eating it green, which isn't healthy, which totally could screw up your digestion. So I wouldn't recommend that. But also, the other way to create kind of a resistant starch is to take like potatoes or rice and cook them, and then once they're cooled, they have this form of resistant starch. So what basically happens is this soluble fermentable fiber goes into our gut, goes into the small intestine, and it basically ferments our gut bacteria, which makes it reproduce and makes it stronger. So it helps our digestion tenfold because it's basically repopulating our gut bacteria. And these bacteria in our gut outnumber our body's cells 10 to 1, which basically makes us like 10% human. So a lot of the foods that we eat actually, like fruits, nuts, vegetables, other things that don't really have a lot of starch in them, they only feed 10% of our body's cells. Resistant starches actually feed the other 90% of our body's cells. So we're getting lots of nutrition, we're getting lots of energy from these resistant starches that are basically repopulating our gut bacteria and making us healthier, making our digestion stronger. A lot of times when people come to, you know, a starch-based diet or a high carb, low fat, whole foods, plant-based diet, they're like, my digestion sucks, I am so bloated. Especially with the potato cleanse, a lot of people are saying like, my digestion's really slow, I feel really full, like I can't eat a lot, and I have a lot of gas and things like that. That's because you are repopulating the bacteria in your gut. So what you need to think about is when you first come to, you know, a plant-based diet, or you first start eating lots of potatoes or lots of foods that have lots of fiber and plant fibers and resistant starches, what's happening is your gut is kind of like healing itself. So in a way, you come from eating, you know, lots of animal products or a very fiberless diet. You come to eating lots of whole foods, lots of fiber and things like that. And what happens is our gut kind of has to strengthen itself. We have to work it out a little bit because it's very, very weak from eating lots of fiberless foods. So our gut bacteria repopulates, it makes our digestion stronger, and within a month or a few months, you'll be digesting everything like a champ. Basically, the bottom line here is that resistant starch feeds our gut bacteria, it helps improve our digestion, it helps energy go into our cells, and it helps us feel fuller because we are not digesting a part of those foods. But it still counts as fiber, it still fills us up, and it still feeds our cells a lot better than other foods that are not as easily digestible. So the way to get resistant starches is I will leave a chart here, or actually I'll leave a link below to the foods that contain the highest amount of resistant starches. If I remember correctly, the foods that are highest in resistant starch are actually beans and legumes and things like that. You can get a lot of resistant starch from obviously cooking and cooling other grains and potatoes and things like that, but you don't have to be eating like raw potatoes or green bananas. Basically, if you're eating starches, any type of starch, you are eating resistant starch. It just depends on how much resistant starch is in that food. I wouldn't go and like be crazy about eating, you know, only foods the highest in resistant starch, because that's, you know, it's not something that you really need to focus on. But eating a starch-based diet or a starch-heavy diet, especially if you're eating lots of whole plant foods like potatoes and rice and beans and legumes, you're gonna be getting plenty of resistant starch. It's going to help you repopulate that gut bacteria, and you are going to have a much easier time losing weight and seeing improvements in your health. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope this was helpful for you. Leave your comments below and let me know if there's anything else scientific that you want me to talk about or explain to you guys in another video, because I like doing these types of videos. It obviously helps me learn more and it helps me teach you guys more. So thank you so much for watching, and we will see you tomorrow.